Nigiri, Niwewe, Bawanzo. Go is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man, Adam, called son, S-U-N. In the name of the true begotten Son, Emmanuel, Matthew 1:23, go with us. In the name of the true motherland, Nigatia, Nigeria, land of the gods, Ki Swahili, Kunta Kite, Tower of Babel, the first tongue. Peace from above. Amani Kutoka, you peace from above. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Good to be back. Bam. Today, for Sabasiku. Happy 7th day. Today we're reading Agano. Jipya, Imanuel, the New Testament of Emmanuel. Matthew chapter 23. Then Emmanuel spoke to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Therefore, whatever they tell you to observe, that observe and do. But do not do according to their works, for they say and do not do. For they bind heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do to be seen by men. They make their phylacteries broad. They make their phylacteries broad and enlarge the borders of their garments. They love the best places at feasts, the best seats in the synagogues, greetings in the marketplaces, and to be called by men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But you do not be called Rabbi, for one is your teacher, the begotten Son, and you are all brethren. Do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your Father, he who is in heaven. And do not be called teachers, for one is your teacher, Emmanuel. But he who is greatest among you shall be your servant, and whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for you neither go in yourselves, nor do you allow those who are entering to go in. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. Therefore you will receive greater condemnation. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you travel land and sea to win one proselyte, and when he is won, you make him twice as much a son of Sheol as yourselves. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, whoever swears by the temple, it is nothing, but whoever swears by the gold of the temple, he is obligated to perform it. Fools and blind, for which is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifies the gold? And whoever swears by the altar, it is nothing, but whoever swears by the gift that is on it, he is obligated to perform it. Fools and blind, for which is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifies the gift? Therefore, he who swears by the altar, swear by it and by all things on it. He who swears by the temple, swear by it and by him who dwells in it. And he who swears by heaven, swears by the throne of gold and by him who sits on it. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy and faith. These you ought to have done without leaving the others undone. Blind guides who strain out a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you cleanse the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of extortion and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisees, first cleanse the inside of the cup and dish, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like whitewashed tombs, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but inside are full of dead men's bones and all uncleanness. Even so, you also outward appear righteous to men, but inside you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you build the tombs of the prophets and adorn the monuments of the righteous, and say, if we had lived in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Therefore, you are witnesses against yourself that you are some of those who murdered the prophets. Fill up then the measure of your father's guilt. Serpents, brood of vipers, how can you escape the condemnation? Serpents, brood of vipers, how can you escape the condemnation of Sheol? Sheol. Sheol. Therefore, indeed, I see you prophets, wise men, and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify, and some of them you will scourge in your synagogues and persecute from city to city, that on you may come all the righteous blood shed on the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel to the blood of Zechariah, son of Beta Shea, whom you murdered between the temple and the altar. Assuredly, I say to you, all these things will come upon this generation. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the one who kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to her. How often I wanted to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing. See, your house is left to you desolate. For I say to you, you shall see me no more, till you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Interesting. Interesting. Particularly 23:9. Do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your father, he who is in heaven. I can semi-relate to that, at being that he did not allow me to meet my father till my father was 80 years old, till I was 45. So my earthly father, I always looked up to my heavenly father. And that's another reason, like I say, why I understand and have no choice but to acknowledge that I had no choice but to look up to heaven, because he didn't take away my father, but he did take away my father, because he knew what he had for me to do. See, just like he said here, therefore, whatever they tell you to observe, that observe and do, but do not do according to their works, for they say and do not do. One more time. That's just like Therefore, whatever they tell you to observe, okay, like observing as they get me to observe Easter, you know, that's what they get me to do. They get me to observe Easter. I personally don't believe in Easter because Easter is the made up concept of, one more time, for they say and do not do. You understand what I'm saying? For if you were to understand the concept of the resurrection of Emmanuel, that's what it's about. It's not about no Easter. One more time. Remember, let's not forget. E is A in Kiswahili. Omega. Omega says there's no such thing as Easter. I didn't say there's no such thing as Easter. Omega says there's no such thing as Easter. What is it? Easter? Easter? No, it's none of that. One more time. It's about the power of He who created me. And through me and those before me, He displays His power. Just like he said, all these people I'm sending to you, and you killing them. I send you prophets, wise men, and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify. One more time. Because it's just like in today, in this day and age, they telling everybody, oh, be gracious and kind to your fellow man, as long as he has pale skin and straight hair. If he ain't got pale skin and straight hair, you don't be kind to him. If he got feet of polished gold and hair to wolf and lamb, ugh, ugh, ugh. One more time. I am here to help those who have a desire to get closer to goals. One more time. But you got to remember, just like he said, do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your father, he who is in heaven. Your earthly father is your earthly father, but don't forget about who gave you your earthly father. That's one more time. It goes back to what he said, have no other gods before me. One more time. Your father is your God. He definitely would have been mine because I'd have been looking up to him my whole life, but I was not allowed to look up to him until I became a grown-ass man. When I turned 45, he allowed me to look at my father, not to look up to my father, because for 45 years I've been looking up to he who created me. And he said, now here's your father. Here's your earthly father, my son. So you can comprehend the power of him. One more time. I keep telling people, no matter how I feel, no matter what I may be thinking and rambling around through my brain, I am mortal man, but at the same time, I know he who is has a reason, purpose, and goal. It's not for me to comprehend all the time. It's for me to do what I'm doing. Read and teach the book of life. So that those who have a desire to get closer to goals can and will through me. One more time. I am here so that you can see a lot of this stuff that they teach. Okay, like 10, Matthew 23:10. And do not be called teacher, for one is your teacher. Then you are going to say, for one is your teacher. The Christ, the Christ. Anyway, you're not going to say Emmanuel. But reading this, you're going to say Emmanuel. Because reading this, there is no JESUS. Not when you read this, because this teaches you what Matthew 1:23 say. The people shall call him Emmanuel. His name shall be Emmanuel, which means God with us. So JESUS is for them and their goal. I am Emmanuel, whose name is God with us, is for us and those who desire to see God of goals. One more time. Agano, Jipya, Imanuel. New Testament of Emmanuel. The rules and regulations are different, but they're the same. One more time. The rules and regulations are different, but they're the same. One more time. You must learn how to rearrange everything that you were brought up with. Love your earthly father. Admire your earthly father, but don't forget the father of fathers who made it possible for you to have a father. Because if he say no, there's nothing happening. One more time. Understand that woe to you scribes and Pharisees, says the hypocrites. They steady telling you what you should be doing so that you can get to heaven, as they doing everything that it takes to get to Sheol. One more time. And then say, if we had lived in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. So what did he say? Therefore, you are witnesses against yourself that you are sons of those who murdered the prophets. And you say it with pride. You say it with pride. You don't be quiet about it. You say it with pride. We wouldn't have did that. We'd have been doing something different. As you desecrate those who feed upon us go to hear the word of the Lamb. As you desecrate that which you think you're better than. As you desecrate what you think. That's it. What you think it is. As the book, as this book tells you itself. Feed upon us go to hear the word of the Lamb. You, y'all, them, those would rather give glory to someone who has exactly neither feet of polished gold, because for their feet are pale and their hair is straight, and yet you will justify within yourself that what you see ain't what you see. Okay. Just like he said. Let me say it again. What he said. Therefore, whatever they tell you to observe, that observe and do. But do not do according to their works, for they say and do not do. I say and I do what this book tells me to say and do. For Emmanuel, God with us, is the begotten Son, God of gods. I match feet and hair. One more time. Not by choice, by D sign. DE123SIGN. Pay attention to what? What he say? Pay attention to the signs. As you looking in this 2024 and see the signs. One more time. You can keep acting like them and act like you don't see what you see and act like you don't know what you know. But one more time. Paying attention to God of gold is the elevation that you have been so wanting to seek as to your purpose. I know my purpose. One more time. Teach the book of life. Teach Emmanuel. Teach Adam. Teach Ave. Teach she. Teach son. Teach mother nature, earth. Teach what he has blessed me with so that I can expound upon and share this with my brothers and my sisters who want to learn about themselves. One more time. Observe what they doing, like Easter coming up. Observe it, but you don't participate in it. One more time. Observe it, because it's there, but you don't participate in it, because I notice the resurrection of Emmanuel. God, as always, displaying his power through his chosen ones. One more time. Just like he said, I'm going to send people, they're going to murder, they're going to kill them. They're going to do all this stuff. And they're going to think that they powerful. One more time. Go to goals. Power is power. So as this time draws near, keep in mind, there's no such thing as no Easter. It's about the power of God of goals through his begotten Son, showing his power of resurrection. Period. It all goes back to God of goals. Power. As always, Nigri ni wewe mwanzo. Go is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man Adam called son and she went. In the name of the true begotten Son, Emmanuel, walk with us, Matthew 1:23. In the name of the true motherland, Nigritia, Nigeria, land of the gods, Ki Swahili, Tower of Babel, first tongue, Kunta Kinte. Peace from above, Omani Yuku. Peace from above. Fuha Sabi Siku. Happy 7th day. Fuha Sabi Siku.